So if you have experience doing a topic search in the library catalog, you'll find that searching for topics in the ATLA database is not a far stretch. I want to show you how to use the Library of Congress subject headings to your advantage. What it is, the Library of Congress subject headings are a set of standardized subject terms that's used to classify articles. So let's say I had an article and I gave it to everyone in the classroom, and I told them to pick subject headings to be able to classify the article with. Well, I may get 30 results. So therefore I need to have a standard set of subject headings that I can use to classify articles, and that way when I do a search I get a more precise search. Now, we don't always know in advance what these subject headings are. Sometimes they're using big words, like instead of speaking in tongues you get glossolalia. Sometimes they're not always straightforward. So for example, articles on evangelism are not classified as evangelism in their subject heading. It's evangelistic work. So the best way that you can figure out what the subject headings are is to begin by doing a keyword search in a certain area. So let's say we're doing a paper on the biblical doctrine of election. So let's start by doing a keyword search on election. I'm going to type in election, and then the selected field I'm going to click on all text. And whenever you do a keyword search in the ATLA database, you always click on this all text. And then under the limit your results, you click on full text. What this does, this narrows down articles to just those that have access to the entire article, not a summary but actually the entire article. Once you've done all this, press search. And you'll see that you get 7,140 results. Just browsing at some of these articles, I see some things that deal with the biblical doctrine of election. I also see, for example, with articles 3 and 4, things that deal with political elections. So that's not the kind of election that I'm looking for, and that's one of the downsides of doing a keyword search, is that sometimes you get a lot of extraneous results. So let's hone in on an article that looks relevant to what we're searching for. I'm going to actually click on result number 5 here. It deals with the biblical doctrine of election in Jacob and his flocks in Genesis 30, 25 through 43. And in the record here, I see an area for subjects. And I see, for example, this article deals with Jacob the patriarch, with Laban, with Genesis 25 through 36. And down here I see a subject heading for election theology -- biblical teaching. Now with the Library of Congress subject headings, which these are, whenever you see a -- this is basically a subdivision of whatever comes before it. So you would read this backwards. This is an article on the biblical teaching of election. Further down you'll also see one here that deals with the biblical teaching on God. So since this is right up my alley, I want to click on this hyperlink here, and what this does, this pulls up all the articles that deal with the biblical teaching on the doctrine of election. And instead of getting over 7,000 results, now I get 131 results that deal specifically with my topic. So this is how I can use the Library of Congress subject headings to narrow down my search results. Thanks for watching.